Okay, take 7. It's got to get good this time. That's one of the funnest things, is that Denise and I just get to sit here and go, oh, that one was, oh man. Okay, Captain James coming to you this morning from the Junie Moon with Boat Dog Calvin, and we are talking about patches. Who wants to watch us actually put wood in the holes instead of take wood out of the holes? Show of hands. Got a few down there, some over there. Okay, so what we're going to do today, we're going to put some wood in the holes, right? This is thick-faced teak. We usually use this to make furniture, boxes, random things. And we end up with these random little pieces. These random little pieces make great patches because the wood never rots in squares, does it? It always rots in some sort of odd shape. When you do make wooden patches, you want to be able to attach that patch to the wood. I show you how to make a really detailed patch and how to trace around and make a nice tight fitting patch here in the next video, but I also show you that I like to use glue. Some people just like to use friction to stick it in. My theory is that the wood will never grow together and therefore it will always be able to move and leak. So I use an epoxy when I do mine. The epoxy I use is from a company called West System. It's called 610 and it's a thickened epoxy. You can use almost any thickened epoxy. I find this one to be the best. It has the best flow rate, it has the easiest trigger, and it actually has the best dry time, and it's sandable. So that is my recommendation. One of the other key components is to have a good caulking gun. This is one that we got from a company called Newborn. I don't know. The best thing the biggest thing to understand about a caulking gun is the ratio, the trigger to push ratio. I guess you could say the pull to push ratio. And in this case, it's an 18:1. That's about the best you can get without going to an electric one. These are about 50 bucks on eBay. So without further ado, we're going to get straight into it. Okay, so we're about to make some patches, and I've gone through patches before, but I kind of wanted to do a little bit more in-depth video about how to make patches. So every time I make a patch, it makes an odd-sized little shaped piece of wood like that, and I save them all. And we reuse them because you never know where you're going to need them. So you can always put putty in if you don't want to do patches, but I like to put wood in everywhere I can, and with epoxy around it, and it makes a nice solid repair that won't leak and will last for years. So this is the array of patches that we have on our boat. Kind of nice because there's always something. We'll wait to see what we do with this little guy. Okay, so this is the rotten area that we're going to patch. It probably came from blister in the wood, and then it takes a few drops of water constantly over time. And you can see it's darker stained up here and lighter stained down here, so that means that the leak came from up there. So we found a piece of wood. Sorry, it's probably kind of close. That resembles our area that we need to patch. And I went ahead and put that up there like that. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And then I traced around it with the pen. And I went up as far as I knew the rot was and chopped off the top. So we're gonna cut this here in a minute. But the reason why I do it this way is so that you end up with a really tight patch. Now I epoxy my patches in because I think that's how you should do it. That way it makes both pieces of wood the same. A lot of patches that have been done on this boat haven't been epoxied in, and they've all failed. So anyway, we're going to cut this out. You're tracing your patch to your rod, and that way when you cut out this good wood, you're sure that you've got nice good wood here for your patch to take hold of, and it's a perfect fit. When you slide that in there, it's going to just fit like a glove. So in the next video, you'll see us clip the top of this off.
Okay, moment of truth. Cut it all out. That's still good wood. So, let's see. Well, looks like we need to come a little bit further on the bottom. Okay. Let's see here. Nope. We're going to take it off the top. That's a perfect fit right there. Look at that. Okay, let's take it off the top. Oh. All right, let's see how we did here. Oops.
Thing of beauty, baby.
Like a glove. A little proud right there, but that's okay. We'll sand that off to kind of go with the curve of the boat. I've always run into that, and it's kind of nice. The boat is curved from the top to the bottom. That's a really cool thing about these old Grand Banks, and so because I'm using original wood to make my patch to, it will eventually come out with that same curve. It's really cool. So here we go. We got a nice patch. A little epoxy in here and the back, and that won't leak ever again. Well, at least for another 50 years. Okay, we have all of our patches cut. We have all of the holes, or the rotten holes, whatever you want to call it, cleaned out, and we are ready to put everything together. So this is the glue that we are using. It is 610 epoxy by West Systems. I've tried other things. I've tried stuff that's fortified with wood cellulose. That was really weird. Anyway, and this works the best. The flow rate's really good. It hardens up nice. You can actually sand it, so it's my recommendation. I wish they'd send me a case of it. Anyway, let's get to it. Since that's such a good patch, we'll go ahead and fill those in right now. And that's why I use this thickened stuff. I mean, you can put a blob of it on the wall and it'll just stay there forever, so it doesn't sag. It's filled up that hole, that gap nicely. And I think that'll be a good repair. Okay, on to the next.
Hello, wooden boat fans. First mate Denise here. This next clip, you'll be watching Captain James patch that nasty electrical hole that we dug out in the previous video. You'll also be watching Calvin trying to avoid some flying sawdust. Another good reason to have safety goggles. Just want to remind you, when working with power tools, please keep your pet safe as well.
I want everybody to note that I left a little edge here where I put the epoxy. Some of it's going to spill up onto it, but it's to help keep those wires from sticking, because we're going to replace those. And I think we'll do a little bit more epoxy in here. This is a pretty major repair. You may never get this door off again. Well, we may never get the door off again. Oh wow, that looked really good actually. Look at.
Oh, that's nice. That is super nice.
So then I'll just run one more bead in there. That's nice and sealed in there. So okay, then this little guy. Hey man, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, and this is how we had to make this work. So we got a screw in here, so we had to kind of patch around the screw. And that is what we ended up with. And I think we'll put a little bit more epoxy in there. We'll kind of leave that just like it is, and then we'll fill that with some wood.
All right, boat fans, I hope you enjoyed watching us patch some of those nasty holes that we made, and I hope you learned a little bit of something along the way. So we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for watching our videos, and we do hope that you get some enjoyment out of them. Thank you again. God bless.